Alright guys, welcome to another Schmattz Outdoors trapping video. We're just getting ready to go. I got my trucks all loaded up. I actually got some no hunting signs in the back. I'm gonna put them up here before I leave, so I'm leaving just a few minutes early. The sun is just barely peeking over the horizon, so I'm gonna put these up before I start running my line. Otherwise, we'll see you out there. Let's hope we got some catches to show you. Alright guys, I'm at this little abandoned farm place again. Yesterday I had the coon in this set here in this dog proof, and I got this double box here, and bingo bango, a skunk. We'll get him out of there. I haven't checked any of the rest of these. If I have anything else, I'll show you guys. First catch of the day. Yay! Alright guys, first sets of the water trapping for today, and things are looking good. So these traps I put in 2 days ago. I had one on this side of the road, one on the other side of the road, but today I got one there and one here. Alright, I'm just right across the road from where I just showed you the last two. I got a pole set with a 1.5 on it there that's still working, and Kind of Bear's got one. We're gonna get this tree, man. I'm gonna move this pole set over this way. It seems like they come through over here because these are all real thick cattails. So we're gonna move them around a little, just see if I can end up with 4 here tomorrow. Alright guys, I moved on to the next slough. Again, there's a road cuts a slough in half. I had a pole set with a 1.5 like right here in the cattails. And in other sloughs it seems like they'll swim right up in there and not have an issue with it. But that one hasn't been messed with the entire time. So I moved it. It's right here, right on the edge of the... Now it's right on the edge of these dead cattails or whatever. Thinking maybe that might help, you know. I don't know if they don't want to swim in there, but at least now it might be a little more in their face. Because I don't think they swim through these cattails unless they have to, so... But my 110 is set off here, and there's a rat. So that's the first rat. I had 8 sets in this slough. 2 days in a row I didn't have anything. So this is the first one I've caught in 3 days out of here. And I have 2 more across the road, so I'll show you those when I get over there. Alright, so I'm on the other side of the road from the ones I just showed you. Again, I got a pole set right over here. Nothing's messed with it for a few days. I'm gonna re-lure that one today. But right here I had a 110 again. And there we go. So here's something that I've kind of figured out. You know, I had a lot of misses early on these things. Now I'm using the second notch in on all the traps because they don't go off quite as easy. And I think the waves in action and whatever aren't setting them off. And I think like the muskrat's got to commit to get them to set off. And then I'm also setting my carrot almost directly in the middle of the trap. I was putting them like in the lower quarter of the trap. And I'm wondering if some of the rats weren't getting missed. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell if the wind was setting them off or what was setting them off. But now I'm setting my carrot dead set in the middle of that. So the rat should be perfectly centered. And like you can see on this one, like he's caught directly in the middle. I mean, his teeth are still on the carrot. And like I said, you can see where my carrot set. It's almost right in the middle of the trap. I was setting the carrot lower, thinking that like the top of the frame of the trap would be higher above the water, and it might not spook them as much. But apparently, it don't seem to matter. I mean, here I had one of each kind of set on each side of the road, and the 110s caught the rats, and the footholds didn't. So. We'll get this one remade, we'll re-lure that one, and I got 4 more sets on the other end of this thing. Alright, so I was just on the other end of the slough down here. Looks like I got 2 sets here, looks like I got action. Here's a 110 set. Again, he's right in the middle of the trap, right where I want him. And then I got a pole set over here. I can't, the trap is gone. Oh, there is a rat. I couldn't see him down there, but alright, so I just showed you guys the double on the other side of the road here. My 110 here, oh, it looks like it's just set off. Yep, just set off. So get him remade. But my foothold here is gone. Let's see if I can just pull the trap up here. Oh yeah, there he is. Muskrat. Alright, so that makes 5 out of the 8 sets today, and I went 2 days with 0, so explain that to me. I don't understand it. I was thinking about pulling these sets, but now we're just going to remake them and we'll keep checking them. Alright guys, we're to the slough that had the otter in there yesterday. The otter were just right over here swimming around. And I have this set by this culvert, and I think I showed you this a couple times. I didn't understand why it's never been set off, but finally, that's the first time it's even been messed with. The trap hasn't been set off, my bait hasn't been stolen over there, nothing. First time, finally got a rat over there. See what I got on this side. Things are looking good. So right here I had a 110, and there's a muskrat. And right over here I had a foothold, and there's a muskrat. Alright, I've showed you guys this set each of the last couple days. I think this one here is down near caught one every day too. So I just got a single set. Again, it's right across from this point, kind of where the slough opens up to the big part here. And there is Mr. Muskrat. Alright, so I'm going to buy with this approach going, cutting this slough in half. The one on that side is still working today, but I see my sugar beet is gone off of this one. I should probably be replacing the carrots, but I'm only going to trap for a couple more days. So, ooh, there's a nice muddy muskrat. Alright guys, so I'm here at this big slough again. First set is just right out here. Looks like they've actually added on to this house, but when I pulled up, there was something setting over here and I couldn't figure out what the hell it was. And as soon as I realized what it was, it got up and flew. But it was setting, and I'm just looking here. So it was setting like right in here someplace. There was a red-tailed hawk setting in the water, like chest deep in the water here. And I thought maybe it had a muskrat or something caught here. That's the only reason why I'm coming over and looking. I thought maybe it would have it killed laying here, but, or it might have tried to get one, or I don't really know what, but yeah, I believe it was setting right here. But you know, in that water, I mean, probably 6 inches deep right here where it was setting. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was here or here, but I don't see any muskrats sitting there or anything. But about the time I figured out what it was, it caught up and flew. I was trying to get the camera turned on for you guys. I was gonna try and video it from inside my truck, but that's a new one for me. Don't think I've ever seen a hawk setting in a slough. But like I said, it looks like they've been adding on to this guy. They're trimming off more and more of the weeds. You can see they're all cut off at like water level here. But I only got the one set here. And there's the muskrat there. There we go. Looks like right here. My set is set off, and there is, look at like how they're pushing mud. Like this little trail. They're pushing like fresh mud. If I could get them so they would drown here, I'd put like a foothold right here and try and drown them, but the water is so shallow I don't think I could get them drowned like that. But so there he is. So there's one. It looks like we were victorious again. Alright. I think you could see him right there floating, but there he is. Alright, I'm by this big culvert again in this slough. You should be able to easily see him right here. Muskrat's floating right next to my pole. This set is still working. And on this side, I have a weaning pole here, which is a good sign. And this 110 set off. Like I said, this one's been set off every day. Yesterday was the only day I actually made a catch. Ooh, but I got one today too. So we'll get that guy remade. I'll come over here on this side. This one hasn't been set off the last couple days, so good to see it's still working. And there's a nice muskrat. Alright, so I'm at the very end of this big slough here. Alright, there's a muskrat in that set. And that one's still working. But this pole set right out here also has a muskrat. Nice big muskrat. Alright, that makes 8 for 11 today. I am 33 sets in right now, and I got 21 muskrats. Whew, that's probably not good. I got close to 80 sets out, so. But this set here is still working. There's a bunch of weeds and stuff on it, so I'll get them pulled off. Right here, I got a 110, and there is a nice little rat in there. I'm only running 2 colony traps, but I'm gonna pull the one today, I think. Nothing in there. I'll get it reset. It's got to be completely under the water or it doesn't do any good. We have a weedy muskrat in that set. My pole set is set off again over there. Alright guys, so I'm starting water sets again here. I got this swoon just along the road here. Down on the other end there's a culvert. One set the bait was gone. My 110 was set off. And the one across the road that I've been catching one in every day, the whole trap and pole was turned and leaned over. So all 3 of them I would say had been messed with, but I got 0 catches. And then here I got a foothold here, which is still working, and over here, that is a floating muskrat in a 110. Alright guys, I'm on to the next slough. Again, it's a good sized slough. There's muskrat huts all scattered around. Just this little guy, they've been adding to it every day, but I actually have a raccoon set over here because on this big rock, there's all kinds of raccoon scat on there, but it's all older stuff. But I thought as long as I'm walking out here, I could put a raccoon set there, but I don't know, I typically don't do well around sloughs, at least not during trapping season. I know they're around here, earlier in the year, but just not during trapping. But I do have one set here, and there is a floating muskrat right there. There you go. Alright guys, so again, I'm just down. I just caught that last muskrat right over here. On the other side of the road, most 2 sets are still working. And I just want to make the point that you don't necessarily have to be like on the perfect sign or in the perfect spot to catch muskrats. Like I said, this culvert is actually plugged up with rocks. You can see all the rocks here. So they can't even get through the culvert. And all I did is I'm literally 3 feet out here in the cattails, just stab my set in. You can see there's kind of the open water here, but they got to swim through all this stuff. But yet, this trap, all I have is a 110 with a carrot because it's not deep. It's only 6 inches deep, but bingo. I don't know why they keep coming in here, but I'll keep taking them. Every time they swim into it, I'll take one home with me. But yeah, you don't have to be like, in an ideal world, I'd love to be way out here on the edge of these cattails, because I know I'd probably catch more out there. You know, I'd have more sets. But alright guys, I'm to a new slough here. I just set this one up yesterday. I put a set right here. I'll show you that. There's 2 sets by this muskrat house right here. This whole slough's real shallow. I walked around a little bit, but I don't want to wander around all day out here. I got a culvert right here, but I couldn't really put a good set in the culvert or whatever, but you can kind of see, it goes right here, and there's this little channel, and it goes right over to the house. I couldn't really put a 110 in front of here because it's too big of an opening, and I didn't want to have to block it off or anything. So I thought, well, we're just going to put it right in the trail where they're going. And I'll show you. I have a nice muskrat. I don't know if you could see him, but right there. So all I had was the trap was right here, just blocking this little opening. And basically half the trap was out of the water, half was in the water, with the triggers on the bottom, so they were just sticking like right at water's edge. Well, let's see what we got here. So what I did is I put 2 sets here by this house. It looked like most of the activity was going this way. So that one there, 110, was just set off. And this one here, there was a foothold on here. And I got a nice big rat. Alright guys, I'm sorry about the wind noise if there is a bunch. The wind is blowing quite hard, maybe like 15 to 20 today. So what I got, you can see behind me, this big slough. Like I said, there ain't a lot of sign. There is a muskrat hut out in here. And there's one like out on the end of this point. I just walked out. I was gonna put one on each side, one like over here, one over here. But the water is too deep to get over there, so I just walked. If you stay in the cattails, you got hard bottom. As soon as you step out of the cattails, you're gonna be probably over your waders. Just get out here and I'll show you how deep it is. So, I mean, I'm better than waist deep out here. But both of my traps are set off here, so I had a 110 right here. Got just a little guy in that one. And then over here I got a foothold. And I got a muskrat in that one. Alright, I don't think I've shown you the last couple catches in this slough here, so this is the 4 corner slough, so there's one on each side of this intersection here. The one in the southwest or southeast corner does not have nothing in it. I don't have any sets in the southwest corner, but I have just one set here. And there he is. Alright guys, so I'm on to the next land set here. What I have is just, it's a alfalfa field behind me. There's this fence line runs, and then on the other side of this farm place down here, on the other side of this farm place, there's a big wildlife area down there, and I think the coyotes like to run this fence line. And then kind of behind me, you got a fence line right here at the edge of this pasture in the alfalfa field. And then there's a farm place here. But I got my coyote set right here, and we're gonna be a little careful with him here, but I got stink-a-whoop-you right here. Got myself a skunk. So the second one of the day in a coyote set. Alright, so I'm in this slough here, this big slough. There's a other half of it's on the other side of the road here. Just walking out to check the first 2 sets. That one is still working, but it's turned. Because I normally have them, I would face them out like that. Just make sure it's in the mud good. And this one here is leaned over. That's typically a sign of a catch. If I had to guess, there it is. Alright guys, down on the other end of the slough, I had one on this side of the slough. The other 2 were still working. I moved them a little bit, I just changed positions. They're right by a muskrat hut, so I'm kind of surprised they weren't messed with. But that pole over there is leaning. And this one has a muskrat. Alright, just as I am walking out to these two sets, muskrat was right in here, swam right out here and right through there. Not sure where he went, but I'll get over both of my traps here, set off again. Trying to, careful, I don't like getting wet. Yeah, there's one nice muskrat. And I can see this one floating already, so there's another nice muskrat. I mean, they got a house right here that was just like a feed pile the other day, so they've really been working on it, building it up. So they keep building it, I keep catching more rats, and obviously one just swam right by these two sets, so there's obviously plenty in here. I was gonna get some cool video footage for you, and I ended up missing it. So I got my two sets that I just showed you. I got them both remade now. But what I do is I take the muskrat out, I dunk them in the water, and shake them around a little in the water to get the mud off of them, because as you see when I pull them up, they're pretty muddy. So I dunk them in the water, swish them around, I'll pull them out, and so you could shake them real hard. Muskrats will basically get almost completely dry just by shaking them. And then what I did is I pitched them up here on the shore. When I threw the second one up there, a muskrat come out of here, come swimming right here, and right here come by. I reached in and I grabbed his tail as he swam by me. I've seen Joseph Carter, the Mink Man, I think is his channel. I seen him do it a few times, and if you hang on by the tail, they can't really bend up to get you. I had him like 6 inches out of the water, but he got tangled up in this stuff and ended up pulling out of my hand. And then he just kind of swam. He just swam right by me here and went that way. That was kind of cool. I've never had one literally like he swam a foot away from me after I threw a muskrat up onto the bank. But all right, we're to the last two sets. Again, the one on the other side wasn't messed with, so I moved it just a little bit. So it was kind of like in a little pocket like this. I moved it so it's out, like out here, just to get it out. If there happen to be swimming by, who knows if there even any. There's not a lot of sign on that side, so I only have one set over there. I do have one over here, a foothold. That one's still working, but I see one big muskrat. So that's the last muskrat of the day. I'm gonna mess with this set just a little bit. I think I'm gonna lower my bait a little close to it, and it looks like my pole is leaning. Alright guys, I'm dealing with something new. I don't know what's going on here. I'll show you what's happened to my sets here, and maybe one of you guys can tell me in the comments what happened or what you think happened. What I'm doing, I'm looking for tracks or anything on the ground. But what I got here, here's a dog proof. But something's dug, but there's no catch circle, right? So it's not like something was caught in there. At least I don't think they were. But they're caught. I mean, like I said, why would you just dig the stake out? It's almost like a skunk or something came along and dug at the stake of it. I don't understand why they would do that. And this, so what I have here is I'm in the bottom of a big ditch. It just continues on. It runs for miles. Where I caught that big coon yesterday, that's like a mile down on the same ditch. It kind of weaves its way that way. But this one, it looks like the same. I mean, like the stake ain't dug so much, but it's dug right here, and the trap set off. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that, or like seen skunk actually like. That's the only thing I can think of, a skunk or a coon that's gonna dig like that. If any of you guys have ever seen that, leave comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you did to fix that, if anything. Alright guys, so I made it home. The first one of those dog proofs that I showed you, I ended up pulling it because only like half the stake was still in the ground, and I just moved it over a couple feet, or maybe 1.5 feet, and put it back in. We'll see if that happens again. I run a lot of Z traps, so they're push-pull triggers, but those two happen to be just pull-only triggers. They're bridgers, I believe. I figured some of the Z traps I put in the better spots, but we'll give you guys a quick rundown of what I caught today. So we got a skunk in the bag, and I also caught one more that I didn't bring home. Just kind of showing you, I got ended up with 35 muskrats again. So 2 days in a row with 35. So that is my personal best. I know I've never caught 35 in 1 day until yesterday. So with what I have here, I've caught 176 muskrats now since Saturday. I have so many more spots I could be trapping. If I was just water trapping only, I could probably have 300 by now, you know, and probably, I don't know, a guy could probably catch 500 in a season if I wasn't land trapping, you know. So I'm running coyote sets, I'm running raccoon sets and all that besides. So today I actually got home a little early. I tried to run my line as fast as I could today. Yesterday it took me exactly 1 hour and 45 minutes to skin them. Like, I literally to the minute 1 hour and 45 minutes, and that's 3 minutes a piece. So I've got her down to a pretty good science. I'll kind of show you what I got here. So these screws here, I used to pull the head off. Here, I'll grab a muskrat for you guys. So what I do with this, these two are about 1.25 inches apart. These two are about 7/8 of an inch apart. What I do is I get the leg in here. It's easier to do if you got 2 hands. And then I just pull like that. Then I could take my knife and I start right here and I slit over to the tail. Then on this side, I start on this side and I go from here out to that leg. And then I pull them out of here. I basically cut and I get peeled this side and this side. Flip them over, peel, cut it out to the tail, and then set them upside on their butt and basically peel it off. And then once I get it all the way up to the head, I basically put the head between these 2 screws. They set right down in there, and then I can pull on the pelt and then cut like around the ears, the eyes, and around the nose. A lot of people have trouble with like cutting the nose off or whatever. I think I've cut 1 nose on 141 muskrats that I've skinned so far. I've cut 1 nose, so I could be pretty careful and I could pull pretty hard. This basically catches on the shoulders. And then yeah, this I used to only have just these 2 for the feet, but it ends up being too far apart and I have a hard time. Sometimes they want to slip out of there. You can see it don't really catch in there as good. So I added this one this year that's a little closer together, and then it really holds. I mean, even if that leg is broke, they still been holding in there this year. So that's really saved. Just this extra screw has saved me a bunch of time. You could also do this too. I used to do this, but you can also pull. So now the skin is tight all the way from here to here when I pull like that. So you can cut that side and then flip them over and cut that side. You know, that way it's always nice and pulled tight for you. You don't have to try and... The first side, the way I've been doing it, is kind of loose, so you got to be kind of careful what you're doing. But I've gotten good enough. Like I said, 3 minutes a piece, that's about as good as anybody's going to do skinning muskrats, I feel like. So we're going to let these air dry for just a little bit here. I don't have any land animals to skin tonight, so skinning will go... I got about 1 hour and 45 minutes, probably 2 hours total by the time I throw them in Ziploc bags. I'm just skinning them right now. I'm freezing them, and I'll take them out as I have time, you know, later on this season or over the winter, and then I'll put them all up. All right, that's enough rambling for tonight. Like I said, if you guys happen to have ever had that happen where skunks, it's got to be skunks is all I can figure, dug up your dog proofs like that and dug at the stake. That's the part I don't understand. Why would you dig at the stake? But yeah, if you comment below if you've ever had that happen to you, or if maybe you realized you did something, you could tell me what I did that I shouldn't have, or I don't know. But otherwise, if you guys like the videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you see when a new video comes out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys out on the line tomorrow.